Yeah, it feels like you're watching the end credits. I'm watching the end credits right now to the democracy. Now, is Jeff Bezos and stuff up there with them? Seeing Elon Musk standing right there, is that Zuckerberg? I can't tell. I don't want to. He looks like a little dork. It might be. I'm trying to see who I can spot. That is him, right? Looks like he's breathing pretty heavy. Oh, it's Jared. Okay, I thought it looked like a dork. No, I think that was Zuckerberg in the very corner.
Performing "Oh America." Please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and America's
That person right there.
Christopher D. Macchio.
Right there. That's Zuckerberg. That definitely is. With the way he's breathing too. Who's this guy? There's that Javier guy from Argentina. The guy that tripled the poverty right there. Make sure to drop a like on the stream.
I can hear you calling me. Calling me to pay true to thee, true to thee. I will be. Oh, America, no
ceremony for the oligarchs. Wow. Is this a funeral, brother? Seems like a funeral. I love all the big tech oligarchs who are standing in the... I love that all the oligarchs are standing there. John Fetterman's wearing gym shorts at least. At least he's staying true to brand. At least we have that, I guess. Wait, what about Trump coin? Someone made $300 million from Trump coin. That's what I like to see. Is Joe Rogan really there, bro? Is Joe Rogan actually in the Capitol right now? I'm not believing that. There's no way. Really the dumbest possible way to ever do anything in human history. Where's Joe Rogan at? Where's Joe Rogan? Is there a short bald guy somewhere? Right there. Is that Joe Rogan right there? The government's being toppled. Which other world leaders are here?
The Honorable Jackie Barber, the Clerk of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Kevin F. McCumber, Mr. John
Let's see.
Bessler, Mrs. Kelly
Inauguration
Johnson,
guests.
Mrs. Iris Weinshaw Schumer, and Mrs. Jennifer Scalise.
Google CEO, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook. Tim Cook came. Vivek. Truly in shambles. Truly in shambles. Is that Melania's husband? Joe Rogan was in church with Trump. Bruh. Joe Rogan, Tim Cook, TikTok CEO. That's what we're doing now, bro. It's the oligarchy. If you pay enough money, you're welcome to the Capitol. That's the Trump America. Joe Rogan, Tim Cook,
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting
Google
the
CEO,
President of the
Jeff
United
Bezos,
States and the Vice President of the United States,
Javier Milena,
ranking member of the Joint
the
Congressional
president
Committee
that
on
increased the
Inaugural
poverty rate in
Ceremonies,
Argentina
the
by like
Honorable Deb
3
Fischer,
times.
House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, and Senate Majority
Truly in
Secretary,
shambles.
the Honorable Robert Duncan.
Joe Rogan, chief propagandist for the White House. They invited everyone. Yeah, this is a deconstruction of democracy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden Jr., and Vice President of the United States, the
We did it,
Honorable
Joe.
Kamala Davy Harris.
We did it, Joe. Good job, Joe. Good job staying in until the last second. Yeah. You funny guy. You funny guy. Okay, why didn't JD Vance speak? Why didn't JD Vance speak yesterday at the rally? Why was JD Vance not invited? They kicked JD Vance out, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the Vice President-elect, the Executive Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Mr. Michael Wagner, Senate Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms and Doorkeeper, Jason Bell, and House Deputy Sergeant-at-Arms, Mr. Sean Keating.
We're doing it. We're doing it, bro. It's happening. America said, screw it. We're going on a bender.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President-elect of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance.
Oh, don't worry. The content is going to keep on coming. The content is not going to stop at all with this administration. You guys have no idea how anything works at all. And you're about to find out. You're about to need to find out. Just because you have a love obsession with an 81-year-old man or whatever. Trump's going to sign executive action to rename Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America today. So yeah, the entire cabinet right now mixed in with the richest people in the world. Not even nominated or elected. Look how happy they are. They got all the tax cuts. Beautiful.
The President-elect, the Staff Director for the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, Elizabeth Farah. House Sergeant-at-Arms, the Honorable William P. McFarland. Senate Sergeant-at-Arms and Doorkeeper, the Honorable Jennifer A. Hemingway. Senate Majority Leader, the Honorable John Thune. And the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries. House Majority Leader, the Honorable Steve Scalise. Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Honorable Mike Johnson. Senate Democratic Leader, the Honorable Charles E. Schumer. Ranking Member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer. And Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Amy Klobuchar. We're handing it over to Amy Klobuchar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect of the United States,
Hey, by the way,
Honorable Donald John Trump.
By the way, you need to now defend actual things that are happening in the world. You can't just keep talking about Donald Trump as if he's not the real person. You know? You're in the honeymoon phase. But you need to actually defend him now. You can't just keep on talking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and communism and Marxism and DEI and CRT. You need to make actual arguments and understand the real world and the impact that a US president has. I know you love this period where you get to be like, Trump won, haha. But when you grow up as a man, as an adult, as a woman, as a whatever, okay? Now you have to take ownership for anything at all. You can have fun. You can have fun now. But things are about to change drastically in America. And if you're not wealthy, you're probably going to be affected negatively by it. It's not USA, it's DNA. The last time I reacted to a government thing like this, it was January 6th. I reacted to January 6th as it was happening, and I predicted it because I knew Donald Trump was like obviously talking in a way that he wanted violence to happen. I have the clip of me predicting it and then watching it and being like, oh, he's actually doing it.
Please welcome the Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Amy Klobuchar,
good morning, everyone.
Defender of America.
Welcome to the 60th presidential inauguration. Today, President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy. For the past year, I've chaired the inaugural ceremony committee, which includes the leadership of Congress from both parties. We thank the committee and Capitol staff and law enforcement who worked so hard over the last year, and especially the last 3 days. You've done a beautiful job, and you have shown grace under pressure. Yeah. Our theme this year is our enduring democracy. The presence of so many presidents and vice presidents here today is truly a testament to that endurance.
I mean, Donald Trump skipped last year because he was too busy crying, or last election.
We welcome President Biden and Dr. Biden. We welcome Vice President Harris and Doug Emhoff, President Obama, President Clinton and Secretary Clinton, President Bush and Laura Bush, Vice President Pence, Vice President Quayle and Marilyn Quayle. The justices of the United States Supreme Court are with us, all 9 of them I counted, and of course the Trump and Vance families. This ceremony marks what will soon be 250 years of our democracy. It is the moment when leaders, elevated by the will of the people, promise to be faithful to our Constitution,
like a pandemic doctor,
to cherish and defend it. It is the moment when they become, as we all should be, the guardians of our country. Through war and peace, through adversity and prosperity, we hold this inauguration every 4 years, and today it falls on Martin Luther King Day. A further reminder that we must strive to uphold the values enshrined in our Constitution, the freedoms, the liberties, and, as is inscribed on the entrance of the United States Supreme Court, equal justice under law.
Ha ha ha, this is going to be so funny in a few months when Donald Trump ignores the Constitution completely.
But what makes this moment more than a passing ceremony is all who are watching it across the country, the people of this nation, the ordinary people doing extraordinary things. President Kennedy, who at one point worked as a senator in this building and would often walk through this very rotunda, once said, "In a democracy, every citizen, regardless of interest in politics, holds office. Every one of us is in a position of responsibility." With that responsibility of citizenship comes an obligation not to seek out malice, as President Lincoln once reminded us, but to view others with a generosity of spirit despite our differences. With that responsibility of leadership comes an obligation to stand our ground when we must and find common ground when we can.
I hate liberals, bro.
With everything swirling around us, the hot mess of division, it is on all of us, to quote an incredible songwriter who just happened to be born in my state.
Oh, God, bro. Can we please say something more, pressing? More like up to date or something?
To ensure that our nation's democracy is our shelter from the storm. There's a reason this ceremony takes place at the Capitol. In other countries, it might be in a presidential palace or a gilded executive office building. Here it is traditionally held at the Capitol, the People's House. It is a fitting reminder of the system of checks and balances that is the very foundation of our government. 3 equal branches of government. That is how, for nearly 250 years, our great American experiment, grounded in the rule of law, has...
She's telling the end story, by the way. This is the end story, because Trump already wants to defy the checks and balances.
Endured. So, as we inaugurate a new president and vice president, let us remember that the power of those in this room comes from the people. The construction workers who build our country,
the big tech
teachers
billionaires
and healthcare workers
who steal our information,
the troops defending our freedoms,
the meme coin billionaires, the crypto billionaires
in Los Angeles putting themselves on the line,
the lesbian firefighters that caused all the fires in Los Angeles, according to Donald Trump.
Our democracy's strength and grit must match theirs. May God bless our nation.
Shut up,
Thank you.
Raistlin. No, Raistlin, worst case scenario, people use their Second Amendment to go against their neighbors. Guaranteed. That's like the worst. That's my biggest fear is militia. Militias being fully armed and ready to go. Like I said, we need to all have our own personal nukes. The golden age of America. Whenever you have to label something gilded or golden, you know it's not going to be good.
Good
You know what I mean?
afternoon.
You don't say your plans. You just say it's going to be golden.
Through the
The
years
Gilded
is
Age.
the ultimate test.
The Gilded Age was not a good time in American
Persevere
history.
through time is the truest measure of an idea,
Ashley Babbitt
an
was justified.
institution,
On what side?
and a nation. Our founders wrote the Constitution so that America could withstand all the twists and turns of time. They wrote it to guide us and to preserve forever our right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But as much as the truths and principles
most Republicans
enshrined in our
believe Trump should be able to bypass
remain
the
the
Constitution,
same,
by the way. Most Republicans
our
believe that.
democracy promises the American people the power to change, to chart their own destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance of democracy. It allows the endurance, the permanence of a nation through change. It allows nations like our United States both to avoid the obstacles and to seize the opportunities God has placed before us, all while staying true to our founding principles. Today is our country's 60th inauguration ceremony. Like all the others before it, it is a celebration of our right to set our uniquely American course. The past several years have been trying at times for many, many Americans, and also for the nations of the free world that we humbly strive to lead.
I guarantee you, the moment the Constitution stands in Trump's way, he's going to say we should bypass it or change it or just ignore it. I guarantee you. He's already said that.
In November, Americans chose again to steer this nation towards greatness, the secure, safe, and prosperous future that our founders envisioned for all of us. And today, we celebrate not only their decision to do so, but also the simple right and wisdom of a free people to make their own choice.
Oh, I forgot Trump's going to pardon all the cop eaters today. Because Trump loves the cop eaters.
So that their nation might endure.
Well, yeah.
And now, allow me to welcome Archbishop Timothy Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation. Please rise.
Make sure you're all standing. Did you guys buy Melania coin? I love seeing Joe Rogan, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. I love seeing all the all the richest people in the world there.
And know
All
that
the
I
richest
am
people.
God,
It's beautiful. Oh, yeah.
supreme among the nations, supreme on the earth. Let us pray. Remembering General George Washington on his knees at Valley Forge, recalling Abraham Lincoln at his second inaugural, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right.
Do you notice how Donald Trump looks annoyed that they need to pray? Meanwhile, Joe Biden actually is in deep thought. And he actually did, you know, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Like, he actually did it. Donald Trump did not.
Remembering General George Patton's instructions to his soldiers as they began the Battle of the Bulge 8
Trump's not
decades ago.
religious. He's not religious at all.
Pray when fighting, pray
He does not
alone,
believe in
pray
God.
with others, pray by night, pray by day. Observing the birthday of the Reverend Martin Luther King, who warned, without God, our efforts turn to ashes. We, blessed citizens of this one nation under God, humbled by our claim that in God we trust, gather indeed this Inauguration Day to pray for our President Donald J. Trump, his family, his advisors, his cabinet, his aspirations, his vice president, for the Lord's blessings upon Joseph Biden, for our men and women in uniform, for each other whose hopes are stoked this new year, this Inauguration Day. We cannot err in relying upon that prayer from the Bible, upon which our president will soon place his hand in oath, as we make our own the supplications of King Solomon for wisdom.
Brother, Elon Musk is out of his mind here. Do you see his face? He is gone. He is gone. Vivek is too. Dude, he's tripping on ketamine hard. Look at his face. Bro, that's crazy. I know he normally looks like that. Look at the tie. Bro, he had a crazy night last night. He was definitely pre-gaming. That's crazy. He has some issues, bro. A new dawn. Yeah, this is the future of America. And also all the big tech CEOs. They get to be front row for the inauguration. Meanwhile, the American people are kept out of it. That's funny. That's awesome, bro. This is beautiful. This is awesome, bro.
As he began his governance,
Mr. President, the last 4 years, there are times I'm sure you thought it was pretty dark. But look what God has done. We praise him and give him glory. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, thou hast said, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. As the prophet Daniel prayed, blessed be the name of God forever and ever. For wisdom and might are his. He changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings. He raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. Our Father, today, as President Donald J. Trump takes the oath of office once again, we come to say thank you, O Lord our God. Father, when Donald Trump's enemies thought he was down and out, you and you alone saved his life and raised him up with strength and power.
By the way, this is anti-Christ, this is anti-Christian, this is anti-God, making it political and using it for just anger, and to serve your own personal means, to worship your favorite politician in the room, worshiping a king, worshiping a politician above man. This is anti-Christian, this is antithetical to everything Christians should be believing or saying, using a prayer for a political campaign speech, essentially. This is actually pretty, bad when it comes to God, but I know people don't really care about that anymore.
Power by your mighty hand. We pray.
God does not grant personal favors. God is not appointing Donald Trump as a messiah.
Pray for President Trump that you'll watch over, protect, guide, direct him. Give him your wisdom from your throne on high. We ask that you would bless him and that our nation would be blessed through him. We also ask that you would bless and protect Melania as First Lady. We thank you for the beauty, the warmth, and grace that she shows not only to this nation, but to the whole world. We thank you for Vice President-elect J.D. Vance and his wife Usha and their young family. May he be a strength to President Trump, to stand beside him, to hold up his arms like Aaron held up the arms of Moses in the midst of battle. The prophet Samuel reminded the people, it was you that brought them up from the land of Egypt. And he said, now stand still that I may reason with you before the Lord. So Father, we take this moment to stand still, to remember the great things that you have done for this nation. Thank you for the protection, the bounty, the freedoms that we so enjoy. We remember to keep our eyes fixed on you, and may our hearts be inclined to your voice. We know that America can never be great again if we turn our backs on you.
Bro, America can never be great again if we turn our backs on
Ask
you.
for your help. And we pray all of this in the name of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, your Son, my Savior, and our Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Justice Kavanaugh to administer the Vice Presidential Oath of Office.
JD Vance is meeting his kids. It's so nice to see him meet his kids for the first time.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear
I, James David Vance, do solemnly
His
swear
name is James.
that
I
I
didn't know
will
his name was
support
James.
and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
Is that his mom?
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
Does he have a
the
dad?
duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
What kind of ice cream do you think Joe Biden's fantasizing about right now? Look at Joe Biden smiling and Trump is pissed. Trump is pissed, dude. They have no time for human emotions here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the Presidential Oath of Office.
Good job, Roberts. You really did it.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect,
She
and
might be
defend
president
the
someday.
Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Well, there it is. Joe Biden gets to enjoy some ice cream now. Let's go, Joe Biden. Ice cream time. Ice cream time, baby. All right, let's see. Zuckerberg. We got Microsoft. Wait, not Microsoft. We have Apple. We have Vivek. Look at Vivek all sad back there. He looks upset. Where's all the other, that's his granddaughter, right? Donald Trump Jr.'s daughter. I know Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg are back here. I'm trying to see them pan over, though. I know Joe Rogan's over here. Javier Milei is on the right side. Come on, zoom out. I'm trying to see all the oligarchs, bro. Where's my oligarchs at? I came here for my oligarchs. Bill Clinton. There they are. Elon Musk. There's our real presidents. There's Google right there. There's Pete Hegseth. Probably already 20 drinks deep. At lunch. You got Mark Zuckerberg, Kushner, Bezos, Joe Rogan. What is this? Is this the gay choir? I don't know what this is. Is this normal? Is this a normal thing for the inaugurations? I actually don't know. Do they usually do this? I really don't know, bro. Do they do this? Are we just like watching a musical performance? Okay, we get it. Let him talk. Let him speak. What are y'all doing? Bro. Okay, he can't speak. That's sad. That's so sad. The January 6th choir. He will lower the egg prices. Good. Finally, we're done. Hey man, I got stuff to do. Get up there. Tell us what's on your mind, brother. It's a song from the 1800s. Well, we're going back to the 1800s, so I mean, it's fitting.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J.
It's inside because it's cold outside.
Trump.
It's cold out. Donald Trump said there's Arctic blasts, okay? There's Arctic winds in D.C. The Arctic winds we're talking about are 22 degrees. I'm pretty sure. Actually, sorry. The Arctic winds are 24 degrees. Actually, 26. The Arctic winds are 26 degrees. Donald Trump can't handle the 26-degree weather. He's too soft. He can't be outside in the 26-degree weather. He might cry. And besides, he can fit all of his big tech oligarchs there. That's what really matters. He doesn't care about the people. Why would he care?
Thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you very, very much. Vice President Vance, Speaker Johnson, Senator Thune, Chief Justice Roberts.
He's too old for the cold. He shouldn't be president then. If you can't handle the cold, how are you going to handle Putin, dude? How can you handle Putin if you can't handle the cold?
Justices of the United States Supreme Court, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and my fellow citizens. The golden age of America begins right now.
By the way, again, Gilded Age, that was terrible. Golden Age, they want to go back to the Gilded Age. If you have to name the age you're going into, then you don't really have any plans. You just say your plans, okay? You don't name the age before it happens. You name the age after it happens. But the fact they want to brand it already means they have no plans to stand on. They need to manipulate your thoughts and your opinions and your emotions. That's why all the propagandists, that's why all the big tech billionaires are there. That's why Joe Rogan's there, because they need all the propaganda on their side.
From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
He's not going to mention healthcare once. He's not going to mention wages at all. He's probably not going to mention inflation or grocery prices. Maybe inflation, but he's not going to mention grocery prices because he has no plans to do anything. He admit he has no plans. His only plans are to rename the Gulf of Mexico and to give a tax cut to all these guys standing up there, the tech billionaires, the tech oligarchs, Zuckerberg, Bezos, all the people he invited for his inauguration, while his supporters sit outside crying.
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed. Our safety will be restored.
Our sovereignty will be reclaimed.
The scales of justice will be rebalanced. The vicious, violent, and unfair weaponization of the Justice Department and our government.
Oh, little baby need to cry.
End.
He's going to cry. Oh, no. I was so unfairly treated.
And our top priority will be to create a nation that is proud, prosperous, and free.
All right, tell us about your plans, bucko. Name one thing you want to do, buddy. Come on, Buck.
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before.
All right, I get you're emotional. Tell me your plans. I know you're emotional. You're emotional.
I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world. And America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face.
All right. Okay, we're past the spoken word portion. Okay, we're past spoken word. We're going to get to the meat of what we need to tackle as Americans. Good.
While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America.
Annihilated.
As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment.
I wonder why people don't trust the establishment when you still denied the 2020 election.
Has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while...
Oh, yeah, bro. Extracting power and wealth from the citizens. When your first initiative as president is to raise the debt ceiling, to go into deficit spending, to give billionaires more tax cuts, to give billionaires higher tax breaks, to give billionaires special favors from the government, which is why you invited all the big billionaires into the Capitol. Again, while your supporters are outside, you have your little private meeting. Your cabinet is now full of the billionaires that own Microsoft, Google, Apple, all these big tech companies. Extracting wealth from the poor, giving it to the rich. That's literally the goal of Donald Trump. His administration did that more than any president in American history.
All the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair. We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad.
Okay, other people are the problem for everything, all right? All right, do you want to write like a Taylor Swift song crying about your ex-lover? Or are you going to talk like a grown adult man and tell us what we're going to do about anything?
It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American
Okay, I get it. Just talk about
citizens,
the
but
topic,
provides
brother.
sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have
Oh my God, this is
illegally
campaign
entered our
speech.
country
This is
from all
campaign
over the
speech,
world.
bro. This is campaign
We have
speech.
a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American
Unlimited
borders
funding
or, more
to foreign
importantly,
borders. Unlimited funding.
its own
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, been treated so badly.
The federal government and Joe Biden and Democrats released all the funding they could, all the funding they could. It's a bad situation, obviously. If we're grown-ups, we can say that and work on it. But the funding is held by the Republicans in Congress. In fact, Democrats were asking Republicans in Congress to increase FEMA funding, and the Republicans voted no. The Republicans wanted to decrease FEMA funding. So remember, he's lying his ass off right now.
And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago, or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's
These poor people that are worth $250 billion don't have a home. I feel so bad for them. Are you going to mention the working class people that built this country, that make this country run once? Are you going to mention the hardworking people that actually keep things going, the first responders? Are you going to mention people who do every job, you know, electricians, mechanics, pipe fitters, anyone? Can you mention one working class person? Or do you want to keep on just giving your little back rub, your little massage, your they call it your happy ending massage to your billionaire donors? Are you going to keep on giving them all the praise, or do you want to talk about the American people?
interesting.
You want to just blame immigration? Blame immigration on everything. Never actually talk about what real Americans are facing.
But we can't
what real
let
people
this
are facing.
happen. Everyone is unable to do anything about it. That's going.
Hey, stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Okay? Tell us what we're going to do.
To change. We have a public health system that does not deliver.
Dude, this guy is like a little emotional 12-year-old that listened to their first emo album. Holy crap, dude. Can he say one thing that's somewhat like sounds like a leader or sounds like someone who knows what they're doing? Anyone can talk like this, by the way. Anyone can complain about everything. Anyone can just complain.
In times of disaster, yet more money is spent on it than any country anywhere in the world. And we have an education system that teaches our children to be ashamed of themselves.
No, we don't. We just don't have that. That's propaganda spread by people that can't have tough conversations, okay? Saying that slavery once existed in America and that, you know, racism can still exist. Saying that, if you think that's an attack on you, all right, you just can't handle your emotions. We can have tough conversations. Why are we afraid to have tough conversations? Everyone is going to cry, be like, if you talk about this, you hate America. How about you just have the conversation instead of crying or running away from it? Because you're running away when you say, you hate America. Because obviously, if you want to talk to the random 1% of America that will actually hate America, you can. But you're being a kid that's searching out the whatever enemy, you know, you could find that'll prove your point right. Come and talk to your community. Talk to real people in your community. I guarantee you we can find productive ways to reach conclusions in America that are not just hatred and violence and stupidity. We can come together as people. We don't need to listen to these oligarchs, to these ultra-powerful rich billionaires tell us why we should hate each other. This entire speech Trump is giving is why we should hate each other, hate government, hate everything else. He's not giving any vision for the future on how to work hard or build anything because he never did that in his entire life.
In many cases, to hate our country despite the love that we try so desperately.
It's like you tell your significant other that there's something you need to work on in the relationship, and you instantly start going, "You hate me, don't you?" It's like, no, I just think we need to like get up and work out sometimes because I don't feel healthy. But you hate me, don't you? No, we just like we have like communication issues. But you hate me. You are that person in the relationship. You are that person in the relationship. You ruin all conversations that can even possibly be productive.
To provide to them. All of this will change starting today, and it will change very quickly.
No solutions, broad criticisms, vague criticisms, no solutions. Cry, 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 wah, wah, wah. I'm angry.
My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these.
Oh, it's a betrayal now. It's a betrayal. All this emotional wording, bro. I can go listen to a Taylor Swift album. I can go listen to a grunge album or a emo album. I can go listen to Linkin Park. I could go listen to it. If I want to hear crying, there's much more motivational forms of crying that I can be participating in.
Place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on,
your freedom's been
America's
taken.
Decline is over.
All right, that's like verse number 10 of Cry, 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 Bad Things, Terrible, Bad Things are done. No more bad, no more bad, no more bad, Golden Age, slogan, slogan, slogan.
Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty.
You said this already.
Of America's government.
You said this already 10 times.
Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president.
It's so unfair. You see him crying again. He's crying again.
Learned a lot.
We need a cry counter. New drinking game. Whenever Donald Trump cries.
Has not been
whenever he cries,
an easy one, that I can
whenever he
tell
cries, drink.
Those who wish to stop
You'll be
our
dead.
Cause have tried to take my freedom, and indeed,
they're trying to take my freedom.
Take my life.
Oh, and try to take
Just
my life.
A few months ago,
yes,
in
the
a
random
assassin. An
assassin's
bullet ripped through my ear.
That was them. It
but
ripped
I felt
through his ear.
And believe even more so now that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Bro. Okay, saying that God saved your life and he just chose to redirect that bullet into Corey's head. Okay? God did not grant you that favor, and it's pretty disrespectful to Corey's family. Okay? Corey did not deserve to die, Trump. I don't know why you think that. Why is everyone celebrating Corey dying? God chose Corey to die that day. Why is everyone clapping for Corey getting shot? Guys, why are you clapping? Corey got shot. He was a firefighter. He served this community. He got shot. Why are you happy about this? Why did God choose that decision? Did God say, Corey, you gotta go? Did God say, Trump's about to get, hurt. We gotta redirect that bullet and Corey needs to catch it? Why are you clapping for Corey? Like, come on. Okay, Trump's gonna mention Corey. He's gonna mention him. Corey's the firefighter that actually got ended, shot on that day, tragically.
Thank you very much.
He's gonna mention Corey. He's gonna mention Corey. And Corey will be the first. He'll be the first firefighter or working class person that Trump mentions this entire speech. Okay, he's gonna mention Corey. Just wait for it. He's gonna mention Corey, the guy who actually died that day.
Under our administration.
Oh wait, he's not gonna mention Corey because he never cared about Corey. He put Corey's uniform on stage for a political prop. Trump never cared at all. Trump just said, "God saved me on that day because I'm so important. I'm so important. I went through so much political persecution the past 8 years, including them trying to kill me. And that assassin on that day he ripped apart my ear and almost got me." No mention of Corey. God chose that day to save me. Meanwhile, no one remembers Corey now. Like Trump's never going to talk about Corey again because he never did care. Trump never cared. I thought he was going to mention Corey. I really did. But again, we're on the streak of Donald Trump not mentioning one working class or middle class person this entire speech.
American patriots, we will be working to meet every crisis with dignity and power and strength. We will move with purpose and speed to bring back hope,
live, laugh,
prosperity,
love.
safety,
live, laugh,
and
love.
peace for citizens of
live,
every
laugh, love.
race, religion, color,
live,
and creed.
Laugh,
for
love.
American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
Aw, we have a cute day. Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love. Aw, it's so cute.
It is my hope that our recent presidential election will be remembered as the greatest and most consequential election in the history of our country. As our victory showed, the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda with dramatic increases in support from virtually every...
Is the agenda going to just be mass deportations? Is there any policy to address any issue that was like a top 5 issue for the economy? Is he going to mention one of those topics at all?
Element of our society, young and old, men and women, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, urban, suburban, rural, and very importantly, we had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote, we won by millions of people.
Okay, the number one Trump policy, the number one policy he ever had was, I won. That's his policy, okay.
To the Black and Hispanic communities, I want to thank you for the tremendous outpouring of love and trust that you have shown me with your vote. We set records, and I will not forget it. I've heard your voices in the campaign, and I look forward to working with you in the years to come. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and his honor, this will be a great honor, but in his honor, we will strive together to make his dream a reality. We will make his dream come true.
I bet kids in 5 years are going to think MLK shared the same opinions as like Clarence Thomas or Thomas Sowell. By the way, if MLK was alive today, just to make sure we can like go over that quick, Donald Trump would call MLK a radical socialist communist and an enemy to America. Just to get that straight. Like he would be calling MLK a radical he would be a threat to America under Donald Trump's own definitions. By far, like far in that direction. He'd say he hates America, he's radical, he wants to overtake America with critical race theory. Like I guarantee you, if MLK was alive today, that's the treatment he would get.
National unity is now returning to America, and confidence and pride is soaring like never before. In everything we do, my administration will be inspired by a strong pursuit of excellence and unrelenting success. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution.
Oh, I forgot Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson was Martin Luther King on steroids. Remember Mark Robinson. Google him, the lieutenant governor for North Carolina that ran for governor. Donald Trump said Mark Robinson is Martin Luther King on steroids.
And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
Isn't our God, is that wrong? Isn't he the God, or isn't he just like under God? Our God, I guess.
Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America
Deportations and border.
Revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense.
First executive order.
First, I will declare a national emergency
at the
our
border.
southern border.
Yep, okay. That's the only thing Trump is... That's why they couldn't pass the policy on the border. That's why they voted down the border bill. And it wasn't Ukraine funding, by the way. Ukraine funding was still passed. The foreign aid funding was still passed in a separate bill. But this is why they shot down that bill for the border that would have helped fix it, in some regard at least. It was the most aggressive conservative legislation on the border in American history. But they voted against it so Donald Trump could do this. So Trump could use it for political reasons.
Illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country.
All right, so those are our 3 top policies, our border, border, border. By the way, if you call immigrants or illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants, if you call them illegal aliens, you're not a Christian. Full stop, okay? You're not a Christian if you call them illegal aliens, all right? If you want to use a legal definition and you say it's illegal immigration or it's, asylum seekers or undocumented, illegal aliens is directly against God and Jesus. Jesus did not believe, God did not believe. Jesus transcends nations, okay? Nations in general. Nationalism is anti-Jesus as well. Just so you know. Jesus would never call another person not only illegal, but also an alien. Jesus would never call someone an alien. You are being anti-Christ. I'm sorry, sir.
Country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations.
Okay, so the big complication there, that's the first real policy thing he said. Designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. So that, number one, sets up denaturalization in the 14th Amendment because they want to argue that foreign nations or terrorist organizations are invading America. Therefore, if they invaded America, you can take away the naturalization, take away the citizenship of the birthright citizenship of American citizens who are born on American soil. So that's number one. Number two, saying they are terrorist organizations means you can use the U.S. military against them. So using the U.S. military to build the border wall, to crack down on U.S. cities, U.S. towns, because they lie about everything. Trump said the Cybertruck bomber was an immigrant. The New Orleans truck driver, that murderer, also Trump said that was an illegal immigrant. So Trump is going to label everyone as an illegal immigrant and then say they're all terrorists. And then the military can now have justification to crack down on them. And also that's when they talk about taking the military into Mexico, crossing the southern border, and waging war on the cartels. So yeah, you're setting the stage to use active military presence and aggression on the cartels, whatever that definition will expand to under Donald Trump. But there is a huge ramification to Donald Trump saying that. What's up, Caveman? Haven't seen you around.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act.
Yep, there you go, the Alien Enemies Act
of 1798.
There you go.
I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil.
But remember, Donald Trump considers this to be every single immigrant. Every single immigrant. He has no differentiation between any immigrant. Even if the crime rate for illegal or legal immigrants is extremely low, he still is going to say that, every person in this country is an evil cartel, violent offender. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. And that's what their plan is.
Including our cities and inner cities.
Because no one disagrees, okay? No one disagrees that you should take care of anyone that is violent, okay? There's a legal process and deportation process for violent offenders. But these laws are so broad and not regulated, so I wouldn't be surprised if nonviolent offenders, definitely nonviolent offenders who do something illegal, but also just people in general that have lived in communities for years and years, being ripped out of their homes is probably going to be a norm. And also, some U.S. citizens are going to be wrapped up in that. Because they don't care. They really don't care about following legal processes. Who controls the law? Donald Trump. Who controls intelligence? Donald Trump. Who controls law enforcement? Who controls the military? Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. So I would not be surprised if some U.S. citizens got wrapped up in this. In the huge camps they want to build in Texas, by the way, the huge camps where they can make immigrants, they can focus immigrants. They can make immigrants focus in a particular area, really focused in one camp, sort of like a focused concentration camp.
As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions and that is exactly what I...
And again, calling it invasion. Trump's lawyer that tried to help him steal the election with the fake electoral scheme, that same lawyer made the legal argument you could take away naturalization and go against the 14th Amendment if under the threat of invasion. So, like, for example, if a foreign government invades America, if America had a war, like Russia and Ukraine right now, if a country invaded the U.S. and their child was born in the U.S., okay, so there's a pregnant soldier or occupier or invader pregnant in the U.S., they have a kid here that's a citizen. Their argument is that under the 14th Amendment, that does not, during wartime or during an invasion, justify giving birthright citizenship. That's the whole argument. They want to supersede the 14th Amendment to take away naturalization and to take away citizenship.
I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before. Next, I will direct...
And again, no policies on the economy, no policies on healthcare, no policies on wages, no policies on national security.
All members of my cabinet to marshal the vast powers at their disposal to defeat what was record inflation and rapidly...
Okay, here's inflation. Let's see if he says anything that makes any economic or policy sense. Anything economic or policy. Let's see if he says something.
Bring down costs and prices.
Because during the campaign, his policy was make things cost less. Bring down prices. He never gave an actual policy or how he's going to do something. Usually if you hire a contractor or hire a mechanic or hire a plumber or hire anyone that builds something, they give you a plan for what they're going to do before they start hacking away at your house, right? So Donald Trump, is he going to give an actual plan or just say, I will make costs lower, it'll be lower, much lower, because I want a man with a plan before I hire them for a job, typically, you know? Normal standard for hiring someone.
The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare...
Donald Trump, by the way, did the majority of that overspending, and a lot of that overspending was tax cuts for billionaires and trillionaires. Although Donald Trump wants you to forget history and forget what happened just a few years ago.
Declare a national energy emergency.
National energy emergency. We're producing all-time levels of oil production. If you want to nationalize oil companies and put price controls on it, you can recommend that. But these are private industries. Just saying we need to hack away at the environment as quickly as possible, increasing our crude oil supply without increasing our refineries does not decrease prices. And either way, it's private reserves. It's private control. So that oil made in America can be sold abroad, and oil is brought in from abroad to be used in America, and natural gas and gasoline and etc. So this makes no sense either.
We will drill, baby, drill.
Yep, there it is. Slogan, emotions, emotions, slogan, emotions, slogan.
Drill.
Notice how on immigration, he had a 20-step plan. All right, these illegal aliens, we're going to get them out of our country. They are invading. We're going to designate them as terrorist organizations. And therefore, we can use like the military and all law enforcement to use the 1800s law on alien invasions to go through and dissect America and rip it apart to make sure we get all these immigrants out of our country. He had a very, very, very meticulous plan for that. Very well thought out, very, very hardcore plan for that. For all of these issues, he's saying slogans, and these dumbasses are raising their hands up in the air when he says literally anything, bro. Literally anything. He did not say one word that made any sense right there about bringing costs down at all. He said, lower costs, I'm going to make costs lower. Inflation's bad because of overspending, the overspending that he did a lot of. And also, by the way, drill, baby, drill. 2 slogans. They think you're dumb. I think you're smarter as Americans, okay? I don't think Americans are dumb. He does. He thinks you're going to buy into it. Without him needing to have one plan or doing one thing, he thinks you're going to buy into it. And still, not one mention of the working class, not one mention of unions, not one mention of healthcare, not one mention of childcare, not one mention of housing costs.
America will be a manufacturing nation once again, and we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have. The
Biden added more manufacturing jobs. Don't forget.
Largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. We're going to use it. We will bring prices down.
Okay, there's the policy. We're going to bring prices down, guys. That's my policy.
Fill our strategic reserves up again.
The strategic reserves are being replenished at a very quick rate.
Right to the top.
Right
and
to the
export
top.
American
Right to the
energy
top, dude.
all over the world.
Right to the top. Wait, we're gonna use American energy to lower costs, or we're gonna sell it all over the world? Which one are we gonna do? And what do you mean we? This is ExxonMobil and a bunch of other huge companies. What do you mean we? I thought you said we're gonna use it here to lower cost. Okay, we're not gonna. Oh wait, I'm confused. Wait a second.
We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet.
That Velveeta, baby. We got that Velveeta under our feet, bro. We got Velveeta cheese.
That will
Liquid
help
gold.
to do it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke
The Green New Deal that never happened. This is another example of Republicans making up an issue that never happened and fighting against it. Boxing shadows, boxing ghosts. The Green New Deal that never happened. We are going to end it.
the electric vehicle mandate,
Bro, the electric vehicle mandate.
saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers.
The auto workers, who do you think makes electric cars? The electric car mandate, that's not even a thing nationwide, but still, even if it were, who do you think is going to make the cars? How is it an attack on auto workers to make a different kind of car? Do you think the current auto workers would not be involved in making the new electric cars? Are they like, do we have to hire new electric car makers in America? Like the same plans can be adjusted for these other vehicles. I don't know what that means. Well, no, Elon Musk wants the EV mandate and the EV tax credit to be ended because now Tesla is able to sustain, especially because Elon Musk is so rich, but they have all their fundamental infrastructure pretty set, and he's going to get more government contracts for superchargers, I bet. But now the electric car tax credit only serves to help Elon's competitors. So like it helped the free market be more healthy because Tesla was not the only electric car on the market. But if you end the electric car tax credit, now all these other companies that have been producing electric vehicles to compete, these same car companies are going to decrease their electric car manufacturing because the incentives are lower because that tax credit will no longer exist.
In other words, you'll be able to buy the car of your choice. We will build automobiles in America again at a rate that nobody could have dreamt possible.
Biden has more cars being built in America than Trump did
just
again.
A few years ago. And thank you to the
That's why the Auto Workers Union endorsed and voted for Democrats more.
auto workers of our nation for your inspiring vote of confidence. We did tremendously with their vote. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Okay, so remember, tariffs are import taxes. So it's like a sales tax. Corporations don't pay the sales tax when you buy something. You have a sales tax on your receipt when you buy something, right? So in the same way, an import tax, if I buy something from abroad, that company's not going to pay for it. They're going to give me that import tax. So saying that we're going to tax other companies and use the External Revenue Service, which he's probably going to bring up, that dumb fake agency, it makes no sense. Tariffs are an import tax. You're taxing Americans and American companies. You're taxing Americans on imported goods. You're taxing Americans. You're taxing Americans.
For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service.
There it is.
To collect all tariffs, duties.
I swear to God, he says something really dumb and he kind of backs it up with a slogan, so you stop thinking. Say something dumb and then have a slogan, and then your brain shuts off.
And revenues, it will be massive
drill,
amounts
baby,
of money
drill.
pouring into
Drill,
our treasury,
baby, drill.
coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving
With a
like
Trump
never
meme
before
coin.
to restore competence and
Drill,
effectiveness
baby,
to our
drill.
federal government.
Get the
My
Trump bucket helmets out, guys.
administration will
Drill,
establish
baby,
the brand
drill.
new Department
Drill,
of
baby,
Government
drill.
Efficiency.
Drill, baby, drill. All hail Plankton. Department of Government Efficiency. The fake agency that has not done anything or offered any advice or any policies. But again, slogans. This is all slogans and emotions. This entire speech is slogan and emotions. Remember that.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal
Yeah, export taxes. Let's do export taxes. Wait, wouldn't like export taxes and I don't know.
efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America.
Bro, free speech has been taken. Free speech is when I could say slurs on Twitter, okay? If I can't say slurs on Twitter, I have no free speech in America. That's what they mean, by the way. Because free speech was not limited, unless if you're literally just saying the COVID vaccine was a bioweapon. By the way, and all these billionaires, the oligarchs, Bezos, Musk, Washington Post, CEO, TikTok, whatever, Bezos alone has censored like 15 articles or whatever that are negative against Donald Trump from Washington Post, because he owns that, of course. Elon Musk bans accounts that disagree with him. So all the oligarchs, all the tech oligarchs here, are the most anti-free speech people in American history, and they sell our information without our consent, and now they're like in Donald Trump's cabinet without getting confirmed or elected. Donald Trump banned, Jeff Bezos banned political cartoons about Trump. Like a basic political cartoon criticizing Trump's nominees for the cabinet. They blocked it. A very simple political satire cartoon. Like, that's insane levels of censorship.
Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Something I know something about.
And also, every charge Trump had was legitimate. You can argue. The only thing you could argue about any of the hush money cases is the. Well, actually, no. It was all illegal. Everything was illegal about it. I mean, if I talk to a Trump supporter about it, they admit it's illegal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest.
We will not allow.
The January 6th stuff is the worst, though. The fake elector scheme, the pressuring of states to throw away ballots and to lie about their elections, to send fake electors to the electoral college, and also pressuring Mike Pence after Mike Pence said he's not going to certify the fake slate of electors, and having an angry mob go to the Capitol. That was like that entire scheme. January 6th is probably the least worrisome part of the entire election overturn scheme Trump had, including the fact that Trump still lies about it today.
Allow that to happen. It will.
And remember, Trump is going to pardon all the cop beaters. All the cop beaters on January 6th, Trump loves them. He's going to pardon all the cop beaters. Trump referred to the cop beaters as us, and he referred to the cops as them. So us for Trump is anyone who supports me, including those who beat cops, and them is anyone who's against me. So if you're a cop and you stand up against me or my supporters, you are them. You are the anti-me. You are against me. You're not on my team. That's what Trump said.
Will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life.
Bro, you guys saw first responders running in the fires in California, and the first thing you did was you brought up their gender and sexuality. You saw people running into other people's homes to save other people's families in California. These first responders, you did not congratulate them. You did not thank them once. You did not appreciate first responders once. The first thing you did, your entire party, the first thing you guys did was blame the fire on lesbians and say that they are DEI hires, although the LA Fire Department is made up of 3% women. The first thing you did is bring gender, race, and sexuality into it. Kamala Harris did not talk about her race, gender, or sexuality this entire campaign. Trump brought up her gender every day. Is she really black? Is she just turned black one day? They brought that up constantly. Kamala Harris tried to avoid that topic. Republicans had to pound that issue regardless because Americans love talking about it. You're addicted to it. All you talk about is race, gender, and sexuality.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Pete Hegseth, merit-based, 04 military, all right? Usually 010s get the chance to be Secretary of Defense. Pete Hegseth cannot maintain a job at a nonprofit, which is the easiest job to keep, okay? Cannot maintain that job. Cannot maintain a job from nonprofits that he helps lead because he's a raging drunk who assaults women. Okay, we don't know the nature of the assault, but we know he assaults women. We don't know the full extent, but there are too many NDAs to know. All right, too many NDAs. But Pete Hegseth is the example of a DEI hire who's unqualified. All right, when people say, oh, "Look at that black pilot," they must be unqualified. That's one of the dumbest things you can possibly say in American history. All right. Anyone, by the way, who watches this video who wants to talk about DEI, I want to talk about DEI all day now. Okay, schedule a call with me. Send me an email, joel@talkspolitics@gmail.com. Let's have a conversation about DEI, and I want to know what you really think about it. Because I guarantee you don't really know what it means or anything about it.
It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Oh, man. Zero economic policies, okay? Zero working class people mentioned. He brought up the assassination attempt, said God saved him, did not bring up Corey, who actually died on that day, okay? He could not even mention Corey, who was a firefighter that served his community. Zero policies, zero healthcare, zero childcare, zero education, zero any issue that affects the American people. Only a plan to use the U.S. military in Mexico to avoid the Constitution, to bypass the 14th Amendment, to just like shut down provisions of the Constitution you disagree with. He brings up all these different things, all right, about gender, race, pronouns, DEI. He brings up zero about policies to fix energy costs or inflation or groceries or anything to help Americans in general. Zero policies about that. But everyone's going to cheer and scream for drill, baby, drill. Gender and DEI, there's two pronouns. You realize you're being led around like a little cat with a laser pointer, so you don't pay attention to issues that actually affect you and your family. Your emotions are being kept captive. They're using your emotions against you. It's like in Pokemon when you attack, and it says that you hurt yourself in your own confusion. That's what's happening right now, bro. That's exactly what's happening. Yo, I'm farming these TikTok clips. You see these? Do you see all these TikTok clips I'm farming right now? You guys gotta admit, I'm getting good at that TikTok clip game. That's a really solid TikTok clip. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty solid.
This week, I will reinstate
Stop pausing the
any
video.
service members
Stop pausing the video. Stop pausing the video. Guess what? You're banned.
who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay.
Full back pay is crazy. Oh no, is he gonna say we're gonna stop requiring polio vaccines, bro? Is he gonna say it? Is he gonna dude? Is he gonna say that we're gonna stop having like vaccines nationwide? Is he really gonna say this? I hope he doesn't, bro. That actually would have really bad impacts. Like unironically, that would be really really bad. As long as they don't take away our right to a vaccine, especially with things like the bird flu on the rise. If there is a vaccine that they can approve, I hope they still approve it. I hope they don't restrict our ability to get vaccinated. But I mean, let's see what he says.
And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately.
Political theories and social what? What? Bro, what are you talking about?
Our armed forces will be free to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies.
I'm sorry, bro, but if having a simple conversation about like racism or about, I don't know, gender or sexuality, if having that conversation ruins your ability to attack enemies, domestic and abroad, and to defend America, if that simple conversation ruins your ability to interpret the world and reality, all right, you gotta toughen up a little bit mentally. Like, that should not derail your entire life. I'm sorry, but that should not derail your entire life. Do not believe their propaganda. They're like, they want your emotions to be firing in all the wrong directions. The idea that these topics would ruin our fighting force, or ruin our firefighting force, or ruin our law and order, or like push dangerous political theories, these are conversations. You don't gotta be afraid of conversations. All right, you don't gotta ban books. We can have a conversation as neighbors, okay? Don't listen to these rich elites trying to divide us. Don't listen to the establishment trying to divide us here. Yeah, good point. I love that comment. Again, he's not talking about any material issues for any American, for any soldiers, for mental health for vets, for homeless veterans. The veteran suicide rate is so high. Okay, he's not talking about funding healthcare, doing anything substantial, increasing wages, fixing our country for the better, supporting our troops in ways that fundamentally would change lives. He's talking about gender and pronouns again. You're so obsessed with gender and pronouns that you're not talking about the real issues that actually do affect the troops. You're not talking about anything except gender, race, and pronouns. You are the person obsessed with it. People who talk about gender, race, and pronouns, other than 1% of Twitter, they just want to be able to be gay, be trans, and live their lives with equal protection under the law. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is here, mauling, getting so mad, making people get distracted. Trump is going to give back pay to all the people that couldn't get the COVID vaccine before he's going to help homeless vets. I'm in shambles.
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into.
Remember, I don't want to pause this much, but he lies a lot, okay? Donald Trump had 4 more times troops die under his watch. 4 times more troops die under his watch than Biden did. 4 times, all right? Biden had like 16 die, Trump had like 64. But they over-politicized the Afghanistan pullout, which Trump orchestrated, and Biden was forced to follow through with. They politicized the death of those soldiers, in a disgusting manner, by the way. But no one ever talks about Donald Trump increasing total conflict globally. They say Donald Trump started no wars. He increased conflict globally. If you want to use the word war and be all technical about the definitions, sure. But he increased conflict globally. Biden decreased overall conflict. And the ceasefire that they're giving him credit for with Israel right now and Palestine, Netanyahu admit that Trump said it's a temporary pause for the inauguration. And Israel is going to come back more aggressive than ever before in a week or two. It's a temporary ceasefire on purpose to give Trump his propaganda week or two. But I'm sure the right-wing media did not report about that, did they? Yeah, and the whole wars thing is stupid anyway. It's like, what wars did Biden declare? But it's propaganda. It's slogans, it's propaganda. It's designed for people to not think. Like Congress declaring a war, or like Iraq, Afghanistan. Like what war did Obama like openly declare himself?
Peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
As he's starting conflicts with our allies, saying he's going to take Greenland and Canada. We can't even, Donald Trump hates our allies. He talks bad about all the free countries, Germany, UK, France, Canada. He talks in amazing ways about the authoritarian countries. He loves Russia and China. He loves how they roll over their people with an iron fist, in his own words. But he hates all the free liberal democracies. Really funny how that works.
Pleased to say that as of
he wants to leave NATO too. Is he going to leave NATO? I know he's going to leave the Paris Climate Accord. Although even ExxonMobil says we should not leave the Paris Climate Accord. Trump's going to leave that, I'm pretty sure, on day one. But is he going to leave NATO? I know he wants to raise the NATO spending target to 5%. He wants to raise the NATO spending to 5%. No military spends 5% of their GDP on military. Or no country does. No country spends 5% of their GDP on military, but he wants to increase it. He'll probably leave NATO as a gift to China and Russia. I'm assuming.
Today, one day before
I don't know when, but
assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families.
With the deal Biden negotiated months ago. Biden had this deal like 6 or 8 months ago, and Trump was in conversations with Israel to purposely delay the ceasefire for Trump's inauguration. It's probably similar to Reagan working with Iran on the hostages to not release them to hurt Carter politically. It's probably in the same level or worse. And this was openly admitted by Trump's campaign, by the way.
Thank you. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs.
Yes, the egg prices are coming down. Woo! This is boring. I might have to cut it off.
President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman
through tariffs.
And gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal, which has foolishly been given to
Oh, here
the
we
country
go.
of Panama after the
Here we
United
go.
States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made.
That's not
And
true, by the way.
Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty
That's not
has
true
been
either.
totally violated. American ships are being severely
So
overcharged.
the number for Americans that died building it because of diseases mostly, and that's why people died 100 years ago, mostly diseases, which they want to bring that back as well. But like 5,000 Americans died building it. 22,000 French died building it. 22,000 French. The total number is around like 30,000. The 38,000 number. So when Trump says 38,000 Americans died building the Panama Canal, just remember he's openly just lying. That's a fabricated number beyond comprehension. Like that's such a bad lie. It's so far past the actual number of people that died building it. And also the idea that commitments were broken, that's not true. But he lies about everything. You can just Google this, by the way. You can verify it. 38,000 people did not die building that, especially not U.S. soldiers during the period of the construction. Because there were two different construction periods that were big focuses. We helped complete it. But yeah, 5,000 Americans died building the Panama Canal, not 38,000.
Charged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United
Nah, he says 38, I'm pretty sure.
States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we
That's
didn't
not
give
true.
it to China. We gave it to Panama.
That's not true either. He says there's soldiers on either side. That's just not true. You can look up videos of people crossing through. There's not a China occupation there. What they do talk about is companies and investment influence there, which if you had an issue with different countries investing in Panama, you should probably be making our relationships better and using diplomacy like a real leader would do, and having more investments for the U.S. be done there. But no, Trump is like weakening our relationship with Panama, making that less difficult and making conflict more likely.
And we're taking it back.
So yeah, like when he says we're taking it back, by the way, there is no military occupation of the Panama Canal. Everything he says along these lines is pro-war. It's pro-conflict. It's pro-trade war. It's pro-actual war. Economic sanctions. It's going to cause issues. You know, it's not Fortnite. You can't just go in gamer chat and yell whatever you want, especially when you're lying your ass off about it. But yeah, everything he just said is a lie. And taking it back has a lot of implications, considering like 140, I don't know, like 80, 100, whatever number of countries use the Panama Canal. So it instantly becomes a global conflict because so many countries rely on the Panama Canal. And again, you can readjust your relationships with different areas. And maybe the idea is we're going to be another like empire that threatens violence for every country in the world. We're going to threaten violence everywhere and threaten to take you over with tariffs and our military. But also, that's going to cause conflict and wars. There's no way we just avoid conflict by doing that. There's smart ways to go about this, and there's dumb ways to go about it. If you think there's an issue there, by the way, because there's an argument if there's even an issue at all. Because this is a new topic Trump did not talk about on the campaign trail. But yeah, this is just like stupid. Egg prices, woo! And like for farmers and for groceries, egg prices right now are probably one of the most pressing issues, and the bird flu in general. The bird flu has killed like 14 million birds in America. That's not getting any mention here at all.
Above all, my message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate our nation, we will lead it to new heights of victory and success. We will not be deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic and keep our children safe, healthy, and disease-free. The United States will once again consider itself a growing nation, one that increases our wealth, expands our territory, builds our cities, raises our expectations, and carries our flag into new and beautiful horizons. And we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American
Manifest
astronauts
destiny.
to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
Bro. So, manifest destiny, and that goes back again, 1800s, I'm pretty sure, right? 1800s, where America felt the need, and yeah, we're talking about Louisiana Purchase, annexing Texas, acquiring a bunch of different states, having a war with Mexico for territory. Yeah, that's not a good thing to talk about manifest destiny again. And that ties back to why Trump is talking about Greenland, the Gulf of America, Canada, Mexico, Panama. The idea that America should be a supercontinent and America should all be controlled by the United States. It's a really dangerous ideology. There's a reason we moved away from it. And it ties back to like God as well. It's a God-given right for the U.S. to conquer other nations, essentially, and land in general. It leads to violence and leads to trade wars and leads to conflict. So,
is the lifeblood of a great nation.
Okay, lifeblood of a great nation. This is going into the, I don't want to use the word, the big word. This is the fascist part of the speech. We're getting into the fascist, expansionist, authoritarian part of the speech.
And right now our nation is more ambitious than any other. There's no nation like our nation.
Remember that and American exceptionalism, there's no nation like our nation. We deserve to have this land. Even NVIDIA, by the way, NVIDIA, which makes graphic cards and chips and AI technology now, their stock price is going crazy because of AI. They used the word lifeblood as well in their statement coming out in support of Donald Trump. So the word lifeblood, or the blood of America, is very big in fascist ideology because it supersedes personal freedom and individuality to instead support the nation and nationality above all. And it usually is above God too. Although they still talk about God, but it usually is above God. But when Trump says immigrants are poisoning the blood of America, it also calls back to that. And that's why Hitler said that quote. When Hitler initially said immigrants are poisoning the blood of America, that's the fascist ideology. You're poisoning our lifeblood. We are like the nation is an organism we're all a part of, and we need to expand. We have a right to expand, no matter like what it takes. Now how far he takes that is obviously yet to be seen, but these are very bad ideologies.
Americans are explorers, builders, innovators, entrepreneurs, and pioneers. The spirit of the frontier is written into our hearts.
Yeah, well, it's also not good to talk about tariffs being our primary tax source. That's what happened in the Gilded Age and led to 20th century slave labor and Pinkertons murdering strikers. Well, yeah, we're leading to neo-feudalism, or we're leading to another Gilded Age, whatever you want to call the system. We're leading to a system, this oligarchical system, where the rich control all policy of the government, and the only debate is on how to manage the populace, how we can effectively manage the populace. It's not really focused on democracy. And the Gilded Age was bad, and they call this the Golden Age already before it happens. They're calling it the Golden Age. So they're intending to make this the new Gilded Age, okay? And that always ends in violence, a revolution, or an authoritarian takeover, or a war, or something. Now, they could be cosplaying, okay? They could be cosplaying, and maybe the deep state and big tech juggernauts will make sure that that doesn't happen because it's bad for business. But it's still bad to even go down this road. And Trump did not talk about this much during the pandemic, or not the pandemic, but during the campaign. He did not talk about Greenland. He did not talk about manifest destiny in Canada, but he did say really fascist things like the blood, the poisoning blood of America for immigrants, and hating immigrants and dehumanizing immigrants, and hating academia, and hating doctors, and hating medical science, and hating intellectualism. That's all signs you're leading to a really bad ideology.
The call of the next great adventure resounds from
next
within
great
our
adventure.
souls. Our American ancestors turned a small group of colonies on the edge of a vast continent into a mighty republic of the most extraordinary citizens on earth. No one comes close. Americans pushed thousands of miles through a rugged land of untamed wilderness. They crossed deserts, scaled mountains, braved untold dangers, won the Wild West, ended slavery, rescued millions from tyranny, lifted billions from poverty, harnessed electricity, split the atom, launched mankind into the heavens, and put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand.
Bro, that sounds like Mussolini. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a Mussolini speech. This sounds like Mussolini. It all sounds like a Mussolini speech. Let's read a Mussolini speech tonight on stream. Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna read Mussolini and compare it to his speech today. The Christian conquest, and yeah, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, having Crusader tattoos and white nationalist tattoos. Christian nationalist tattoos. Bringing back the Crusades and Manifest Destiny. Great.
If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am, the American...
Okay, I'll be honest, guys. I really need to go to the bathroom. So I'm at 35. I'm at 36 right now. I'm going to stop my recording, and I'll let it play for you guys to listen to if you're still here. But I need to come back and finish my reaction then. But you can still listen to it, but I got to go really bad. So I'll be back, but you can still listen to it. I'm at 36 exactly for my reaction for YouTube. Thank you.
And people have spoken. I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do.
Build
in
the
America,
wall.
the impossible
Build
is what we
wall.
do best. From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed over every single challenge that they faced. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make it great again, greater than ever before. We will be a nation like no other, full of compassion, courage, and exceptionalism. Our power will stop all wars and bring a new spirit of unity to a world that has been angry, violent, and totally unpredictable. America will be respected again and admired again, including by people of religion, faith, and goodwill. We will be prosperous. We will be proud. We will be strong, and we will win like never before. We will not be conquered. We will not be intimidated. We will not be broken, and we will not fail. From this day on, the United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation. We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly, and nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun. Thank you. God bless America. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the Armed Forces Chorus and Carrie Underwood.
You know the words, help me out here. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Okay, where was I? 36. Oh wait, that's from the end of the.
And put the universe of human knowledge into the palm of the human hand. If we work together, there is nothing we cannot do and no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
At this point, every single trial in America is I can't talk. Sorry, I ran upstairs. Okay. Let's restart that.
And no dream we cannot achieve. Many people thought it was impossible for me to stage such a historic political comeback. But as you see today, here I am. The American people have spoken.
Every single legal trial now at the federal level is a political trial. So Donald Trump's loyalists are in every position for national intelligence, national security, for FBI, CIA, Secretary of Defense, the judiciary. So when it comes to law and federal cases and the DOJ, Attorney General, everything is now a political trial, almost like an impeachment, but it's really interesting. Many government services you take for granted are probably not going to function as well as they used to, but Trump is right. The people have chosen to choose someone who tried to overturn an election. The people have chosen someone who has been anti-constitution on many different grounds, very aggressively and explicitly. Someone who's trying to overturn parts of the Constitution right now, or not overturn, but just ignore and do his own thing, not really caring for the Constitution. If the American people want to vote away the Constitution, they can. Democracy has been functioning. Even if you think money is a big influence, even if you think there's too much power in money, democracy has functioned. All these countries with universal healthcare and all these different things, they did exist without those before. Democracy does work. But yeah, democracy worked in this direction this time.
I stand before you now as proof that you should never believe that something is impossible to do. In America, the impossible is what we do best.
He spent the entire campaign shit-talking America, saying how America sucks, America's falling apart, it's a falling empire, we can't do anything. I don't know one thing Trump said positive about America in a normal conversation and not on teleprompter. I mean, I know on teleprompter right now he says something positive, but I never heard him say something that shows he genuinely loves America or God.
From New York to Los Angeles, from Philadelphia to Phoenix, from Chicago to Miami, from Houston to right here in Washington, D.C., our country was forged and built by the generations of patriots who gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. They were farmers and soldiers, cowboys and factory workers, steel workers and coal miners, police officers and pioneers.
Oh, okay, we're talking about the working class now. We're done talking about policy, so now he can talk about the working class in a way that doesn't matter. Just like, okay, by the way, at the end, you guys, thanks a lot. GG's.
Who pushed onward, marched forward, and let no obstacle defeat their spirit or their pride. Together they laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built great highways, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and triumphed
Apparently
over
not, brother.
every single challenge that they faced.
Wait, I thought Kamala was a communist Marxist, Kamala Marxist, fascist, socialist.
After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help, we will restore America's promise, and we will rebuild the nation that we love, and we love it so much. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So to every parent who dreams for their child, and every child who dreams for their future, I am with you, I will fight for you, and I will win for you. We're going to win like never before.
We're going to get so tired of winning.
Thank you. Thank you.
You realize if Donald Trump did not win the presidency, he'd be doing like commercials for crypto. He'd be doing crypto commercials and probably have another reality TV show. That's a crazy alternative timeline. Like that different timeline the alternate reality is insane.
Thank you. Thank you. In recent years, our nation has suffered greatly, but we are going to bring it back and make.
By the way, if you want to talk about presidential pardons, call into my show. If you want to talk about Trump and his corruption, call into my show. You want to talk about DEI policies, call into my show. DEI, okay? Call into my show. I'll give you a Google form. You can sign up to talk. I go live at 10 p.m. Eastern time pretty much every single night. I take live callers. Let's have a conversation about it. I love those topics because no one I talk to understands them at all. And I love spreading the actual conversations because the version you heard from right-wing media and from Trump is designed to make you hate your neighbor. And I know we don't need to hate each other. We can talk about these issues in a fundamental way that's productive and where we can come to an understanding. But yeah, definitely call into the show. I'm done watching this. It's basically over. It's been pretty boring the past few minutes. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be back on later on today. But thank you guys for watching. Again, thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you guys in tonight's stream. And I'll probably have a lot of fun conversations tonight. Most likely. But yeah, have a good one, guys. 10 p.m. Eastern time. 10 p.m. Eastern. Every night, 10 p.m. Eastern. And we do a phone number too. That phone number up top is a fake phone number that I use for call-in, so you can text that number too. You can text it with topics. That number up top, okay? If you are a real person, you have a real legitimate topic, text me with your name. You don't need to do last name, at least first, okay? First name, and give me like your top 3 topics you want to talk about, okay? Text your top 3 topics to that phone number. And I'll go through and maybe find a couple that are good. And I'll invite you on the show. Or you can, we'll do that for now if you want to call in later. Even if you're a Democrat or a liberal and you want to complain, feel free to hop on. I might do like 10 different streams tonight. I might do like an hour stream, take a break, start another stream for an hour, take a break, start another for an hour, take a break, that kind of thing. So you get new people in here, new conversations, all that kind of stuff. I might limit conversations to 15 or 20 minutes. Text the number up there. The number up top, the one you see up there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being channel members. Yeah, the one right there, text that number with your first name and your 3 topics you want to discuss about Donald Trump or about America in general. And that'll increase the chances that I answer your phone. Typically at night, I have like, last night I had 700 viewers for the first like 2 hours. So there's people calling and it's up to choice. Or it's up to, not choice. It's random who I pick, obviously. But it'll increase your chances if you send me a text message with your first name and 3 topics to my fake number. All right, sounds good. You're excited? That's fine. It's good. We have open discussions. I'm chill. I'm really chill. I'm actually very chill. I promise. Yeah, see you guys later. Hop in the Discord too. Here, join the Discord. Make sure you verify yourself in the Discord. Oh, that's the wrong link. 1 second. LOL. Here's the Discord link. We have conservatives in there. As long as you're not like weird, okay? If you're a normal person who has normal disagreements with normal people, if you're not an internet troll, join the Discord. You have to verify yourself anyway. You could pick your political ideologies and that kind of stuff too. But join Discord. We have fun. We have great conversations in there. There's the link for it right there. You think we're cooked? True. Good day. Good day. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Well, if you send me a text message, then we can pick topics. But sometimes it's fun to just let anyone call too. But like I said, if I have 100 people that want to talk, if I end up having like 1,000 viewers, for example, I usually say donate $10 and you could have a half hour. Because I do real conversations, by the way. Like I'll talk to someone for 45 minutes on stream. So if I'm giving you a platform to talk in front of 1,000 people, then, you know, either I choose you by random, I choose you because you have good topics and you'll make good content and we can have a good conversation. We can have a productive conversation. Or some people don't want to wait for me to choose them or me to pick them randomly. They don't want to sit by the phone and call, and they have $10 to spare. They Venmo me $10 with their phone number and their first name, or they Cash App me, or they PayPal me, $5 or $10 to guarantee a spot. But you know, you get to a certain level, you need to have some type of barrier to entry because I'll have 500 missed phone calls at the end of the night. Why do it at random? It's like a call-in show. It's like a radio call-in show, and I don't make enough money to have like someone to vet my calls. I would need to like triple in size to have enough money to have someone vet my calls and to buy like an official call-in service. So I'm using a free service right now. This free service sucks, by the way, but it's free, so I use it, you know? Yeah, I agree I want to pick the best ones, but I also have like a job, you know what I mean? I have a job, I'm busy, I have other stuff to do. So if I get on at night to stream, usually if I stream, it's a 10-minute decision. Like, oh, I have 2 hours, let me stream real quick. I don't make, like I said, if I ever grow this channel big enough to make like this a job. No, you don't. Okay, I'll explain this to you because you seem reasonable, all right? So number one, I might get on randomly with 0 preparation and have anyone call in that wants to. All right, the Wild West. Anyone that wants to call in, you can call in. Some are trolls, some are great people that just found my channel. Because I want the stream to be open, okay? If someone's flipping through YouTube Shorts, I want someone to see me on Shorts and feel like they can call into the show randomly, right? And have a chance to talk. And also, if you text me ahead of time with good topics that I know you're pretty vetted and you're not going to be a troll, then I can set a time for you to call in. We can communicate. And at the start of my streams, I need to get the algorithm started. So for example, if you text me, we can start off with your conversation. We can start the stream with your conversation, and that'll be beneficial to both of us because you could come on and talk. We can have a good conversation. And also, when the stream first starts, it's hard to find random people because the algorithm hasn't kicked in yet. But if I am doing a random call-in stream and I have 50 people that want to talk, then they have the option to donate money. And if they donate to the stream and Venmo me, then they can be first in line to call in on those random streams. And I would say that is making the best of my time because if someone's going to pay me, if 100 people want to talk to me and someone wants to pay $10 to talk, then that helps me out, you know? I keep saying, you know, I want to make minimum wage. at least when I stream or when I do content. Like I want to try to make minimum wage for all the hours I put in. So it's beneficial for that way too, right? And some people just donate because they want to donate too. I mean, some people just donate. Super chats, they want to say something, or they donate through other means. I have channel members, all that kind of stuff. All right, thank you guys again. Talk to you later. I'll respond to your text messages tonight if you send me something.